is it you pray for?
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 70th episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous. With me is my partner and co-host, Lawrence Knight.
What's up?
And joining us this evening, as he did last week, we have, although he's under his own nom de guerre, as it were, Caucasian Sasquatch.
Evening, everyone.
It's good to see y'all. So
Good to be seen, sort of.
What was that?
That it's good to be seen, sort of.
Yeah. So back on YouTube, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I haven't really done much. I've just played around with a few different stream features. That's all. Don't want to get a strike on my 90-day probation period, do we? No, sir. I'm a good little monkey.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning into it. They gave me a strike and came back, and I was like, all right, you guys want to play that game? We can play that game. Fuck you. So we may not be long for YouTube. It is what it is. So that
I can see how that could be an issue.
Yeah. So, but we're branching out now. We're on other platforms. We're streaming live to Rumble right now and to Twix. There may be others down the road. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not putting all my eggs in the YouTube basket anymore.
I don't think anybody is, and I think that's smart.
Yeah, I've got a Rumble and a X and a Instagram and a Facebook and all this stuff, and I don't know, man. It just sucks the soul right out of my body every time I think about it.
Yeah, I can see that. So before we go too much further, we say hello to everybody in the chat. We are also simulcasting to Caucasian Sasquatch's YouTube channel at the moment, so I will try not to get you nuked again.
I mean, it was 2 weeks amongst friends.
Right. All right, we got Lawrence Knight saying first, Caucasian Sasquatch saying sorta. You see, M's Mad World is here with us. Ajot, good to see you. Good to see you. I don't get over to that side of the internet very often, but it is a pleasure to see you. Let's see, scrolling down, there's a whole conversation here that I'm skipping. Princess OPD of Ogden, Utah. Welcome to the show. We've also got Andy Pickle with us, and Beak. How's it going, man? So, and others as you trickle in, if you say something in the chat, I will attempt to, at the very least, bring your name up on screen so that you've got some acknowledgement. If not directly address you, like a Veterans Affairs of Media. Welcome in, and we've got Witness with us. So. Last week, we had intended to go down a kind of a haunted house sort of rabbit hole a little bit, and we got a bit distracted. It got a little bit more political than we usually do on this show. But tonight, we're back, and I believe, Lawrence, that is the plan for tonight. Welcome in, DJ.
You be right and wrong.
Hi,
You see, Mr. Caucasian Sasquatch brought up some very interesting things last week. And so don't get me wrong, I do have a program, but I have fixed it in a way that is plenty of room, plenty of space, and it is totally optional for our guest to present things of his own, including when we were talking about the explosions, and Squatch, you said something about a certain type of wood explosion or something to that effect.
Wood gas. It's not so much an explosion. It's just a method by which to derive energy from wood chips.
Now, see, that's interesting. And it's also something that Sam didn't know about.
Oh, yeah, the explosions. Right. I'm sorry. I was lost for a second. I think I was drinking. I'm sorry. I understand now. I get it. I'm up to snuff. We're here. We're doing it. It's happening. Awesome.
Yeah, hey, for the record, there's lots of stuff I don't know about.
Yeah, right.
No, there is. There's just, it's not as
Wait,
big
if
a list.
ancient horror is not allowed to admit that they don't know something, that's not correct.
Well, he usually claims to know something anytime somebody mentions something. You could mention, I don't know, somebody throwing punches on Mars, and Sam will know about it. Oh yeah, I remember that when I was a kid, and give you a 3-hour dissertation on how he knows about it. Okay, I'm being a little rough on it. That's a bit much.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But here's the thing: I'm not going to tell you everything I don't know about. Got to keep a little bit of mystery, like woman. I am demure.
I'm not. I'm, I'm
Got a
not of the
fishy
feminine.
too.
I'm not of the feminine persuasion, nor am I trans.
Yeah. All right. I see a lot of people coming in, and
Yeah,
I've
we've got
tried
some
to.
people in the chat.
Yeah, like I said, I've tried to bring your names up on the screen, if not address you directly, so that you know that we do see you. Thank you all for being here. So, all right. Well, it's good. It's good to be back. Let's get this ball rolling.
Okay, so tonight we do have some infamous news. Now, tonight could be news heavy. If you guys want, we can stop at any time. A lot of stuff came out this week. I definitely took some stuff off the list because I was like, this is not really what we consider infamous on this channel. But in the midst of me picking some articles, I definitely found some crazy stuff and some more information dropped in my lap that I had to laugh when I saw it. And I had to kind of separate it, make it its own optional news report. We also have a segment I call paranormal activities. So there's TikToks of scary sightings. Also, there is, I believe, I want to say it's 5 minutes long. It's a Rumble video on the Amityville horror house, not horror house. Excuse me.
The what now?
Wait a second. Tell me more. I'm suddenly so much more interested.
And also, in honor of your song, Sasquatch, I actually found a list of, it was 10 not a list, but a Rumble video of 10 disturbing things caught on doorbell cameras. And we also have something called 99 facts. We don't have to go through all 99. We can either, you two can pick a number and we'll go to that number, or we can split it, do it at random. Like Sam, you get 10 choices. Sasquatch, you get, 10 choices between 1 and 99. And I'll pull it up and I'll read the fact. And that pretty much is the night. So because I wanted to leave Sasquatch, I wanted to leave some room and opportunity for you to, if you want to talk about something, if you want to bring something on put something on the table, then by all means.
I'm an empty slate. I'm here for your discretion.
Sam, I'll pass him on to you then. You have to be here for my discretion. I'm married.
Well, I mean, I'm seriously like, I hear what you're saying. You've got some stories, you've got some stuff. Sam, did you bring your homework?
Usually this is just me reacting to all the horrifying shit that Larry decides to show me.
Oh, cool. Larry, do me a favor.
Yes.
Show me some horrifying shit.
I will do my best.
All right. We got a show, folks.
So I do have an announcement. Sasquatch, feel free to come back next week if you like. I will be out of town next week. So I may or may not be able to make it next Friday.
We just got permission to cheat by your hetero life partner.
Yeah,
So,
you all heard it here. I got a hall pass.
Yeah, you can go right ahead. Just use protection. Anyway, that
It's a
way,
VPN.
that way Susan's successor doesn't come along with a bad diagnosis. So Day Direwolf. I'll send myself to naughty. That's a good idea, Direwolf, considering who's in the chat. Andy, you go with him. How about that? Right next to Carrie.
Hey, you're just saying that because Andy ain't wrong.
I approve, by the way. I like entropy. It's more fun that way.
All right. So who else? So I see there's a lot of. So you must have mixed. Are some of these Sasquatch or some of these responses from your channel?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes. All of them with the little like buckle on them, I think, are from my channel from your perspective.
Good. Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
when
they're
you look
definitely
at
welcome.
on the StreamYard side, when you look at their icons, it'll have on the bottom right where they are. Like so, if they were on Rumble, it showed the Rumble symbol. If they're on YouTube, they show the YouTube symbol. Now, the channel, it'll tell you. It won't tell you specifically which channel they're from, but if you see that little like belt buckle icon in the top right, that means that that's from a guest destination, which is basically we're being restreamed to Caucasian Sasquatch's channel right now. So that's where they are.
Okay. That was a mouthful.
Yeah,
But we'll,
it won't show Twitter at all. So
He likes
it's
it that way.
I'm sure he does. So we'll start off tonight with I don't know what it is with people on planes. And this started what, like early last year, like going towards the summer. I'd say about the summer of last year. Just unruly passengers. And so this came up. Drunk passenger in business class hogtied after headbutting flight attendant as terrified passengers look on. So this guy he headbutted the damn stewardess.
Can you imagine that conversation, sir? If you don't stop, I will hog tie you.
I imagine that's how they started it off. So let's see what happened. That's United Emirates too, so that's an upscale flight company. They are not playing. Is that a whip?
Zip ties.
Yeah.
Although it'd be way cooler if it was a whip.
The camera was pretty far away when it initially happened, but it kind of looked like the little guy that took him down didn't flinch at all.
Well, shoot,
He
he
just took
probably
it
didn't want
right
to
on
get
the
what
nut, dude.
he probably didn't want to get what the other guy got. I mean, look at this. They had to
Well,
restrain him.
yeah, well, like the little guy was, I think, yeah, right there, where it's showing the little guy, the guy who gets headbutted. He didn't
Yeah.
flinch. He just took the guy down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, the guy was drunk too, so I mean, it's not like he was sober and could actually sit there and let's face it. I mean, I'm sure he felt it. Of course, he felt it was a headbutt, but I've seen better headbutts thrown than that. Um, hey, it's Clifton. But one thing this taught me is that United Emirates, they are not playing. They are not playing on their flights. They're going to
No, that's been
Islamabad.
pretty solid throughout their history. When they pass laws, they enforce them immediately and hardcore. I can respect it.
From Dubai on top of that, and they're going to Islam. Phew. Can you imagine what happened to him afterwards? Oh, let's see. He looks like Samuel.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, that it looks like I don't know. Did they said hogtied in the headline, didn't they?
Yeah, that's not a hog
That
tie.
wasn't.
They just
No, it's not.
let's
It's
see.
not
It looks
hogtied
like
at
they
all.
just bound his hands and
Excuse
feet.
me, sirs. How do you reckon they got him off the plane? You reckon they had a wheelchair just hanging out with straps on it in the plane? I doubt it. So they hog tie him, landed that booger, got him off, clipped the hog tie, and put him in the freaking thing, rolled him out like it was a normal day.
Yeah,
I
Because it
think they
is.
rolled him off. I think that they kept the plane going, opened up the door, and just rolled him off like a rug. Super, super.
Yeah. Mara says flying used to be for the upper class. It used to be an occasion to be celebrated. People dressed up to fly. Yes and no. It also used to be a lot cheaper. I mean, back in the 50s, like, yeah, you didn't need nearly as much money to fly as you do now. Of course, I mean, with inflation and all that, but like, there's all kinds of other stuff that goes into that, including paying TSA, which is totally stupid.
So there's another clip. Okay, so he was tied to a wheelchair with his hands behind his back. So that's probably what we just saw.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's the end of the first one. So I can only I mean, I guess I'm just more interested in finding out what happened to him once that plane landed. Because I'm sure that, of course, that was the start of his problems. But what happens in the Arab country when you do something like that?
Well, nothing good, sure.
I
Enforcement,
mean, good.
like I said before.
I mean, a beating at the very least is probably something that he got.
I suppose it depends on the country.
Well, I don't know anything. Well, the guy was flying from Dubai, and the flight was headed to Islamabad. So I don't know anything about that country, or like, I don't know anything about Islamabad. So um yeah, I just I just imagine in that region they don't play.
Oh,
So
hold on. Islamabad is a city. It's in Pakistan.
okay, well, I
So
didn't know that.
yeah.
Well, still, I mean, either way, the guy's probably he's probably spent the last couple of days getting his butt kicked, in a prison cell. Probably getting beaten, spanked, stomped on, who knows what else.
Looking at him, I would certainly be eating his lunch at the very least.
Yeah. So, but the second one. Now this kind of you remember the story that we had a few weeks ago about the young lady that couldn't drink water because she's allergic to water.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it ain't just her. Bodybuilder suffers heart failure from drinking cold water due to rare condition.
Hmm.
Now this is starting to scare me because this is two black people in a row that's allergic to water, and
I didn't
and
want to say it.
and you, by I wouldn't just say that it's a stereotype, but it's like a lot of black people either don't like to go swimming or they don't know how to swim, and now you got two that
Am
can't
I
even
even
drink the damn
permitted
water.
to talk on this particular story? I mean, like, boy, we're riding the blades real close tonight, ain't we? Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
I mean, in Texas, of course, Texas bodybuilder named Frankie Arbiana, 35, has been hospitalized over 20 times due to a rare heart condition that's brought on by drinking a cold glass of water. Drink room temperature. Why are you drinking? See, that kind of makes sense though, because cold water can kind of put a shock to your system a bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Not that severe a shock.
I
Not
don't
not
know,
for
well, in
me.
man.
his case,
I don't know if you've ever been a roofer in Georgia and thought you were getting a hold of lukewarm something and got you a big old slug of ice water. You'll end up laid out on that roof in just a few minutes from stomach
yep.
cramps. It will almost kill you.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I went swimming, and it was a jacuzzi, and someone dared me to go run from the jacuzzi, run from the water, jump from the pool to the jacuzzi, stay there for a minute, and then come back, run back, and jump in the water. And I did it. And when I got back in that pool, it was like I had been electrocuted. The
Hmm.
shock, right? I just started fidgeting and shaking, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
I take it you've never been duck hunting.
No,
Okay.
why do the ducks do
Well,
something?
when you go out there initially to get into the boat, you got to break the ice on the water. And then when you get to where you're going to be hunting, you have to break enough of the ice on the water so that the dog can get out of the boat and get back in. Very cold shocks to the system over and over again.
Yeah,
I
you can
imagine,
acclimate
especially
to
for the
that, you
dog.
know. Annie Pickle brings up something interesting here. So that bodybuilder might be some other medicines involved. I'm kind of wondering if it wasn't something that he was taking that made him susceptible to that, because that's not like like the lady from a couple of weeks ago. Um, being allergic to the only liquid compound on Earth that is required to keep you alive is not like how is she still upright? So I'm wondering if there might have been something to her case too, like maybe a common ingredient in some medication they were taking that
Or
caused
maybe a
them to
common
develop a reaction.
event that took place a few years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah. Could have been
a
that. Yeah,
non-specific, completely random, not event.
dude. The only reason I am not saying out loud what it is because we're also on your channel.
Yeah, I'm keeping that in mind also.
I kind of
Uh,
like Midnight Horror's take on it over here.
but
It's,
just looking at this, I mean, my guess is, maybe he's worked up a lot of heat. Like you said, there's probably some other stuff, running through his system. And if you're working out that hard and you're drinking ice cold water, and here's the thing too. Here's the main thing for me. At what point are you going to learn your lesson? 20 times. At what
yeah,
point are you going to learn to switch to
To
room
hot tea,
temperature?
coffee. We're just going to drink coffee from now on. We're not even
Yeah.
going to do cold things ever.
I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. At least, and it looks like maybe he's not as severe as the other girl. It's just he can't drink it cold, but he can drink it. She's breaking out inside her neck and all kinds of stuff. Of course, he's
yeah. Because
he,
she
he
was her reaction was a lot more like anaphylaxis.
yeah. And this hit him when he was 18 while at the gym.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
thinking there may be some overheating and possible additional supplements.
That's what I'm thinking. Because look, nobody gets like that naturally, and he's got that little
Not
waist
with that.
device, and
Yeah, not with his waist scrunched down tight like that. No, no. He should have more of a waist than that.
let's see. However, it wasn't until his 15 years and 25 doctor's appointments that he realized, put two and two together, and discovered that the trigger for his condition is ice cold H2O. Why are you still drinking ice cold H2O?
Here's another point Andy Pickle brings up. For competition, they dehydrate themselves to get super cut, like no fluids for 2 days.
True.
I have been severely dehydrated myself, not because I was doing anything like this, good because I got stuck out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And the last thing you want to do is chug water, cold or otherwise. I
True.
mean, you want to drink water, but you want to do it slow. You want to kind of acclimate. It's sort of like going without food for an extended period of time. Your stomach will actually shrink. So if your eyes, like you get within a place where you can just gorge yourself, and that's your instinct, is to just fill yourself up. But it's a lot easier to do internal damage that way because you're not pacing yourself and you don't have the same amount of room that you once did.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. I mean, less so with water. It's not so much about like filling up with water. It's just that your body can't handle processing so much of it after being dehydrated.
Right, right. And I think that's definitely got a lot to do with it. Even when he was 18. Now, they're saying it's genetic, but maybe he was just more predisposed to it happening depending on the things that he was doing to himself.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got some kind of weird, extremely rare, rarely ever heard of genetic condition that crops up, like a time bomb later in life.
Well,
That's
it says right here it's atrial fibrillation, a disruption in electrical signals that causes the ticker to beat out of sync. So it's like a heart murmur.
mhm, something like that. Looks like we lost Sasquatch, but we're still streaming to his channel. Well, hopefully he pops back in.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. But yeah,
It's probably a
that's
connection.
it.
Oh, okay. He's having a connection thing.
Oh, you're frozen. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
but, but yeah, it's just this is just my edu- this is just my guess, just my opinion. I think a lot of it is him bringing it on himself rather than the condition. That's what I
Mhm.
think. I think maybe, working out is fine, but what it takes to be in the bodybuilding field, I mean, that's a lot of sacrifice and and struggle, man. That's just that's a lot. That's hard on the body as it is. But if you've got a heart murmur, heart condition, and you're drinking ice cold water, you know, that's just gonna add to it.
Yeah, and if he had like a previously undetected thing like a heart murmur or like a hole in one of his you know, I don't know. It's just like if it's something that they didn't catch early in life, right? That he didn't know was there. It's always possible that something happened to trigger that and exacerbate that. And it's not so much about the water itself. So I don't
Hmm.
know. But if I'm being perfectly honest, man, he looks like he's juicing.
Oh yeah, he's got to be. He's got to
Mhm.
be among who
You
knows
hear
what
those?
else he's doing. So
You hear those sirens?
yeah, I heard some sirens.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. I swear it wasn't me this time. It is coming through my mic because they're outside my house. But they're not like
Looking for
outside my
you.
house. They're just going down the street. But sorry about that.
They're looking for you. So here's the next one. I wish Squash was here to see this one. So this lady was on disability, and she had a disability case going on, right? And it was for a considerable amount of money, and she just lost her case because of something she was stupid enough to do on camera. Mom loses $800,000 disability case after photos emerge of her winning a tree throwing competition. So let's see.
Yeah. If you can
So
chuck a tree, you're not disabled.
she's in Ireland. Camilla Grabska, 36, claimed in an injury lawsuit that a 2017 car crash left her unable to work for 5 years. Okay, that may or may not be true, even if she's out there throwing trees.
Yeah.
However, photos soon emerged of her competing in and winning a Christmas tree tossing event on January 8, 2018. Yeah, no,
How
no,
much
man.
did she win?
It. I don't know. I'll check the article when we're done.
I
It is a very
guarantee.
large natural Christmas tree and is being thrown by her in a very agile movement. I'm afraid I cannot but conclude that the claims were entirely exaggerated. On that basis, I propose to dismiss the claim. And that's from the judge.
Right? So the
Let's
question is, A, how far did she throw the tree? Pretty good. Looky there. She did good. Um,
yeah.
and then how much had she claimed on her benefits?
Well, it was for $800,000. That's what she was suing for. Snippy
Hey,
Snippy.
Nomi.
That's a fun. Hey, Miss Nomi, without you. Um, so she was suing the person's insurance company. As for the insurance company she was suing, it looks like Christmas came early. So let's see. So what was this lady doing? So yeah, she lost more than $800,000 in an injury lawsuit stemming from a car crash after photos emerged of her throwing the damn trees. So she claimed that the accident caused her debilitating neck and back pain that prevented her from holding down a job for 5 years.
Right?
Now, at this point, if she had done the tree throwing competition now, it is 5 years later, okay. But that competition was a year after it may not have even been a complete, a whole 12 months because the accident happened in 2017. that photo of her throwing that tree was in 2018. So evidently
you
she
know,
wasn't hurting that much.
you
So she
know,
quit her job and received disability payments and argued that her previous and future lost income totaled more than $500,000, according to the total. Boy, I mean, her losing that case, they're probably going to come after her.
No, I'll tell you what happened. I have no idea what the winnings on this particular tree toss is, but it was enough to tip the IRS off into her case because she suddenly got money she wasn't supposed to have. And so they went looking for what might have done it, ended up finding it, turned it over to the State Department. The next thing you know, ipso facto, she's broke and on the run.
She's in Ireland, though.
Oh, well, shit, she'll be fine.
Yeah, this is the Irish High Court reviewed a photo of her launching a tree, as you can see above.
She'll just get on basic income. She'll be fine.
Looks
hey,
like she's
Rez, long
catching
time no
stamps, too.
see.
What's
Welcome
up, Rez?
back.
Hold on. She's like, give me
So no, she's look at her form here, right? For tree tossing, that's not bad. You know,
Yeah, no,
there's no
she's doing
way.
good.
There's no way that somebody with debilitating neck and back pain for any length of time is like, so when you get that kind of pain, like you can mitigate the pain, and sometimes you can even get to a point where there's treatments and it fixes that, but it doesn't change the way that your body has adapted to moving in pain, right?
That's
There's no fucking way this woman tossed that tree with debilitating neck and back pain.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you look at that, and if I don't know if you can see it, you see there's a circle right here. So she didn't have much space to throw it either. She had to do it within a confined circle. That means she had to exert even
she can
more force.
certainly handle some wood.
Yeah.
Well, she just threw Sam's off of her. So
There it
So,
is.
Super Suka asked how much that tree weighs. That if I had to guess just from looking at the picture, which it is just a guess, I'd say probably no more than 35 pounds, maybe.
That's what I was
maybe.
thinking, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
still, even with quote debilitating neck and back pain, and for her to win, and it actually said in the video that the tree was large. Like it wasn't a small Christmas tree. It said it was a large Christmas tree. So this woman threw
Mhm.
a pretty good sized Christmas tree, won the competition, and did it within a small circle.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a 7 or 8 footer.
Yeah.
So at a guess, obviously I can't see the whole tree, but
Right.
yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
and
Why would you do it? Why?
There's a
Why?
and look at that woman. She's a very slender, slight woman. Like, it can't be that heavy.
Okay, so
uh,
she's sitting around at home and she's like, I'm going to go to the Christmas tree throwing. And all her friends went, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, what if I win? I don't know. Well, do something. And she wins. And so she loses all her benefits. And I
well,
bet
the
she's
guys in the
mad
back,
and claiming to be a victim.
well, again, the guys in the back are promising her more wood.
Well, with that kind of winnings, she could have her pick of the litter, I guess.
Oh,
One that's got a lot
classic.
of pine. One's got a lot of pine cones on it.
Yeah. Well, and there's the other thing about tossing a tree like that. So, every inch of that tree is going to catch wind.
That's why you grab it
Yeah.
by the top and get you a good spin on it and launch it upwards.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what
I
I'm thinking. She probably did it. She probably spun herself around in a circle because I mean that's the best way to try to get some strength. To channel some energy. You know,
injuries.
injuries. I mean, well, shoot, she's saying she hurt, so tales told in the dark. um, but
Yeah.
yeah, that
But
was
this is the kind of thing like she must not be a very bright woman, because anybody with an ounce of sense would know, hey, I've got these benefits coming for this thing that I said that I have. I'm going to not go out in public and do a public competition that involves me chucking a tree in a way that I couldn't possibly do if I actually had the things that I have.
Okay, wait. You're giving this woman far too much credit. First of all, you notice she was blonde. So you should
Yeah.
blame her friends and family more than her, because you know they put her up to it.
I wasn't going to mention that. It was the first thing I thought when I saw the article. I was like, she's blonde.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
just
I'm not
I don't
going
think
there.
she's got any common sense at all, because if she did, she would not have done this competition in the first place. This strikes me as
Yeah.
like a local festival kind of thing, maybe. Like maybe it happens like annually or something like that. And or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But like, how do you expect to not get your picture in the paper if you win?
True. Now,
Touche.
I do have to say this, and this is in the defense of blondes. You have some you have some brunettes who can make mistakes too, especially if that brunette is a part of the Baldwin family.
Oh, Jesus.
So we already know one Baldwin just is basically responsible for somebody getting shot on a movie set, right?
Well,
But
he winged one person and killed the other one.
Killed another.
yeah,
That's the 2-for-1, bro. He got a double shot.
he got him a two-piece.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
One
you
wing
got
and a
all
breath.
the now hey, Justin Bieber's wife, Haley Bieber, who was Haley Baldwin, her maiden name. So I didn't know she has an older sister named Aliyah Baldwin. So she just got arrested for assault and battery at a bar.
What'd she do? I was gonna say, would she beat up her husband?
She
I bet
threw her
she
used
glassed
tampon
somebody.
at the bartender.
Oh, wow. That's way worse. I figured she glassed somebody.
Oh, I did hear about this. This
Harris
is
County, you're
yeah, this is gross.
Ew.
And that's
You got to vote, y'all. Everybody vote.
starters.
arrested
vote.
for getting into a tampon tussle. Yeah, you heard that right. Aliyah Baldwin was booked on charges of assault, battery, and criminal trespassing for allegedly throwing a used tampon at a bartender, according to a police report obtained by Page Six. Security footage showed Aliyah forcing her way into a locked employee restroom, telling a bartender she needed to change her tampon. A few minutes later, when the bartender entered the bathroom again,
Oh, it was
Aliyah
fresh.
removed
Oh,
her tampon and threw it at the woman. Security then stepped in and quickly removed her from the club. Footage shows Aliyah resisting the bouncers who removed her, ripping a chunk of hair out of one of the bouncers' heads and kicking another in the genitals. Aliyah initially denied throwing the used tampon, but later admitted to doing it. She justified her actions by claiming she was defending herself. Self-defense? Who needs pepper spray anymore? I bet she's embarrassed.
Assault
this story
tampons.
leaked.
Come on, man. We got to ban all
Yeah.
assault tampons immediately.
no, dude,
You know-
that's. She's not wrong though. I mean, that'd be 100 times more effective on most dudes than pepper spray.
You're right. You're right. You're so
You're
totally
just like,
right.
fuck this, that nasty bitch. I'm
Dude, it'll
leaving.
clear a room.
Yeah, because you don't want to do anything. 'Cause, I mean, just that is disgusting on so many levels.
Well, if she needed another tampon, all she had to do was go to the boys' bathroom.
Or get him out of her husband's purse,
I don't think she
or
was gonna-
her brother-in-law's
Well-
purse or whatever.
Well,
I'm
she was
disappointed in both of you for how long it took y'all to pick that up.
no, I picked it up. I'm just saying. I was about to say, well, she's not going to get any in there, but then again, she is at a bar. There's a drunken guy in there that will gladly plug it up.
Yeah. As to how long that took me, Sasquatch, it's like my first thought was like, why the fuck would there be tampons in the boys' room? Oh, right. All the stupid people making dumb laws.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Remember
clever by
when-
half.
yeah. I remember. Is this the daughter that was doing porn? She had a pimp and she was doing porn. Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
I think he's only got the one.
So
Who you hope?
I'm guessing that's the same one, but yeah. So they pretty much abbreviated all the charges. She got hit with simple assault, simple battery, throwing a used tampon, I don't see how that's simple. That's a
Ain't
biohazard.
nothing simple about that shit, bro.
Yeah, ain't nothing simple about that. And then another form of battery and criminal trespassing, I guess, because she went into the lockback.
Imagine she'd have tried this during that event that
So
took
31
place
years old doing that.
Yeah, no, you gotta. If somebody throws a used
But
tampon at you, and for what it sounds like she pulled this out of her body and then used it as a projectile.
well,
I
yeah,
might
but
Like,
here's the thing too.
dude's gonna have to
Here,
go
now
get an
here's
HIV test.
right?
well, see, here's the other thing too with the criminal trespassing is that she was allowed to go in there, and okay, they went back in there, so maybe something happened. Maybe she wasn't done. There must an argument must have taken place, and she probably wasn't done. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
But
So
no,
that
no, I
WK,
get,
this I don't know if this is gonna I don't know if that's gonna stick. I don't
I
know if
get
that's gonna
that. I'm
stick.
less concerned about the criminal trespassing than I am about the
here's my
hepatitis in
question.
the face.
Here's my question. The charges had better stick just as well as that tampon did to that freaking guard, bro. I'm just saying, there is not a male judge on earth that is going to let her get away with that. That's not
Don't
going
watch
to happen.
this one, Mom.
You would be safer being bitten by a chlamydia-stricken bounce bear, drop bear.
That is a factual statement.
That's just crazy though, man. I mean, who does that, bro?
Chicks that look like that.
And she was
That's
defending herself. That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's. Let me scroll back up because I'm not. It says, yeah. So it shows her forcing her way back in, but they let her stay in. Okay, and she was allowed in. Okay, fine. A few minutes later, when Miss Cawley again opened the restroom, the female removed her tampon and threw it at Miss Cawley. So she just straight. This is when security stepped in and removed the female from the club. So I just think that there's more to it than that. I don't think she just simply just walked back into the restroom and just got the tampon thrown at her for no reason.
Oh, hey, she probably. I don't know. Maybe they had an argument or something like that. But it's just, yeah. As far as the trespassing go, Annie Pickles, right on that. It's just all you got to do is make yourself unwelcome, and when asked to leave, you don't. They can trespass you right then and there.
They got you.
Right.
Yeah.
I am. But I kind of picture it in my head a little different. You see, I see her with one of those wrist rockets,
Mm.
like doing like a John Wick jump and roll to smack
Oh,
him right
man.
between the eyes
Yeah.
with it.
Well, let me address this though. I already know this, but what I'm saying is when you go back and look at the story, she wasn't done. She was cleaning herself up. And then all you're gonna tell me that this lady just opened the door, walked in, and just got the tampon thrown at her. No, even if she said, "Okay, well, we changed our mind, get out." This woman is in the midst of of cleaning herself. You see what I'm saying?
Doesn't
So
matter legally. If you're told to leave and you don't, it doesn't matter what the reason that you haven't left yet is
no,
legally.
she has to be able to collect herself. Now, even though they can say, yeah, technically that's trespassing and all that stuff. If I'm a judge and I'm sitting there and I'm seeing that, the first thing out of my mouth is gonna be, was there any words exchanged? Because if you're telling her she's got to get out, that's fine. But if she is still changing and cleaning herself, and you have told this woman that she can go ahead and do that, and all of a sudden you just open the door and just tell her to get out, and she's in a position to where she can't just pull her pants up and walk out. That's a little that's sketchy. There has to be more to it than that. That's all I'm saying. That's why I said
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that will stick because with that particular charge, the devil's in the details.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, for me, and criminal trespass is a misdemeanor in
Are
most
you
places.
trying to convince me that she fired a tampon at somebody without intent?
Oh no, no, I'm saying I don't know if they're going to get away with the trespass charge, the battery and all that. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, see,
definitely.
that's the bit that concerns me. I'm less concerned about the trespass charge. I don't actually care about that. It's like obviously she got bounced out of there. That's fine. It's the assault with potential pathogens. which it's just like, yeah, she absolutely should be prosecuted for that.
Wrong, Andy. They said it was a few minutes after she was told that she could be in there. There was a timetable.
You'd be doing better with one of those Florida rhesus monkeys. They all got herpes.
Yeah. Well, she might too.
But no, I mean, I was just addressing. Yeah, I was just addressing just that one charge, and honestly, I think among everything else, that's the least serious, because even with the trespass, that they just trespass you, and you just can't go back in there,
So
but everything
I'm
else.
curious about something though. There's a couple of charges missing here. Where's the resisting arrest charge and the assault and battery on an officer charge?
Oh, that doesn't happen to celebrities.
Dude, you get that trash even if you go quietly. They just throw that in there as like sprinkling across the top.
Yeah, see, she says, it says Baldwin, however, shared a different version of events, claiming she had been forcefully removed from the club. Yeah, after you threw a damn tampon at them. And initially denied forcing her way into the bathroom. Instead, she claimed she needed to use the bathroom to change her tampon and throw up. She initially denied, yeah, we know that, but then but then she admitted. So she's killing it. She's killed her credibility. When confronted about the alleged attack on the bouncers, Baldwin told authorities she was merely defending herself. So she figured it'd be her word against theirs.
Hold up, Larry. This, like, upon further reading and remembering what was said in the short video, like, this sounds to me like she not only threw the tampon, but she's the one who forced her way into the bathroom. Like,
Yes.
she has no recourse there at all.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I didn't say that she didn't force herself in. I said that when she forced herself in, and she told, and there was an employee in there, and she told him that she needed to change her tampon, and the employee said they gave her to go ahead to do it, but then they said that, but then she came back a few minutes later. I'm just going strictly off what the article said. A few minutes later, a few minutes could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. But she said she had to go in there and throw up and do all that other stuff. My guess is maybe the worker said, go ahead, went and told her boss. The boss said, hell no, get her the hell up out of there, because we'll be cleaning up her, her blood and her vomit. Get her out of there,
Did she have a Brazilian wax?
I don't know.
Well, if she did, when she farts, it'd be a Baldwin.
Ugh.
Oh. Yep.
Well, and check this out. Baldwin's arrest came just days before her father, Stephen Baldwin, sparked concern among fans by asking for prayers for Bieber and her husband, Justin Bieber. Okay. But yeah, she kicked the bouncer in the nuts and ripped out and said, yeah, she's gonna
pay a lot of money. That's all.
I don't know, ripping somebody's hair out, dude. I mean,
you'll write him a check, be fine.
They'll assume that she's rich, and they'll sue her.
They don't have to. She'll go home. She'll sleep it off. Bieber get his hands on her in the morning. They'll have a conversation. Some checks will be cut. Some lawyers will be called. Some people will be threatened, and they'll go away.
Well, even if she doesn't get a hold of Bieber, if she is in fact a Baldwin, like the Baldwin brothers, Baldwins, they're already rich.
Right.
No, this isn't Justin Bieber's wife that did that. It's her sister.
Okay.
Right.
Either way, she's like I said, she's gonna go home, sleep it off, wake up in the morning, call a lawyer, and the lawyer's gonna call some people. She's gonna write a check, and everybody's gonna get paid, and charges will be dropped, and she'll be welcome back at the club.
Probably.
Yeah, essentially. Or they'll buy the club.
Squash, I have a mystery for you. What is this?
No, oh my God, I'm now horrified. That appears to be coins up someone's rectum. Batteries. Those are batteries. Why are there batteries in someone's rectum?
Why am I looking at it?
Why did you show me? Oh, coins and magnets. What an idiot.
Did I read that headline right? Because zinc helps bodybuilding.
Yes. Yes.
That's not how you take zinc.
Not it at all, dude. Oh my God! Somebody get this
The
man
fuck,
a
Larry?
helmet with a cork and a fork on it. A fork with a cork on it. Oh my
This
God, he's
man
gonna put his eye out.
ate 39 coins and 37 magnets because he thought zinc helps in bodybuilding.
He's going for that Spider-Man effect.
What? Look at that.
I don't wanna. So, man, can you imagine how long he's walked around with that shit hurting in him before he said something?
Oh man. He was
Oh,
a
buddy.
magnet, and the magnet is probably was got them all clunked up like that.
Yes, sir.
Doctors at a New Delhi
JB.
hospital removed the coins from a man's intestine after he swallowed the metals on the assumption that zinc helps in bodybuilding. X-rays taken before the surgery inside Sir Ganga Ram Hospital, Ganga Ram, shows massive metal clots forming in the 26 years old intestines after he spent several weeks ingesting the coins while undergoing treatment for an undisclosed psychiatric condition.
Yeah. Definitely. We're definitely putting this man in observation for a while with some pocket check.
So there is a there is a mental disorder that where a person feels compelled to eat inedible things.
Yeah.
But they're not usually this specific. Like they must be coins and batteries. Usually, just any inedible thing they come across.
Andy,
So
calm down, bro. Nobody wants to think about that.
Apparently, and here's the thing too. Here's what makes it worse. Okay, so he thought only see. I thought he ate the magnets too, for the zinc. So he thought only the coins would
did
give
he
him
put
the
him up
zinc.
his butt trying to get the coins
No,
out?
I guess he thought eating the magnets would aid in the process. So I guess he thought. So he probably did shove them up his butt because he probably thought that the magnets would pull that his body would take the zinc out of the coins, and the magnets would pull them out of his intestine and out of his butt.
So is this a case like there was an old lady who swallowed a fly?
I guess.
And here,
Holy shit!
Literally.
Any people, that's the thing. Typically, no, they're not. They're usually made of non-magnetic, non-ferrous metals.
They do that on purpose.
And zinc is
it me,
non-ferrous.
or are these magnets heart shaped?
Yes.
Those
I
look
suspect
like
this man is a twink.
oh shit, those are earth magnets. He probably picked those up at some fucking tourist shop somewhere.
Doctors learned the extent of what he had done when he arrived at the emergency room with complaints of vomiting and abdominal pain that had gone on for more than 20 days.
I told you. Men
The coins and
don't
the
just
magnets
go to
had
the doctor.
caused intestinal obstruction in his body, prompting an immediate surgical procedure to remove the metals. So the surgeons noted that the magnets and coins had lumped together into two separate loops in the small intestine, with the magnetic force leading them to lock and cause an erosion along the intestinal wall. So, like the dude that shoved the magnets up his penis.
The batteries, yeah.
The batteries, yeah. Thank you.
So is this a appendectomy?
I guess.
That is
So they got him out of his intestines and removed all the coins and magnets. A large amount of the metals were also found in his stomach and promptly removed. So it was just like I said, the magnets caused them all to clump. So I guess maybe these coins are magnetic. Um, Officials noted that some of the magnets recovered from the man's body were shaped like a heart, a spear, a bullet, a triangle, and a star. A post-surgery X-ray confirmed that all the metals were successfully removed from the 26-year-old's stomach and intestines. The patient spent 7 days in the hospital recovering from the procedure before he was discharged. While the man allegedly believed that the coins would give him a boost in zinc, consuming such a large amount of metal can result in zinc toxicity. So he wasn't wrong. When zinc-containing coins are ingested, the acidic fluids in the stomach can cause zinc to leach from the coins, which could lead to stomach pains, diarrhea, and vomiting. In severe cases,
Not
zinc toxicity can result in death. So,
not just zinc though, because like there are very few places in the world where they make coins out of pure metals, right? They're usually some kind of alloy, right? Like even our pennies these days only have a copper coating on them. They've got a nickel core, which, by the way, don't swallow pennies, guys, because nickel is a very
Bad
toxic heavy
mojo.
metal.
Bad. No, don't do it. Don't lick the windowsills either. I don't
because
care how
yeah,
sweet the paint chips are.
so like you could get some zinc out of it, but you don't know what else you're getting, or maybe he does. I don't know, but he's like, oh well, the zinc will fix it. It'll balance out. That's not how that works, man. He's gonna end up with a bunch of heavy metal in his bowels, and it's gonna poison him to death.
okay. Here's the last story before the other story that I split. Um, I don't know how to do an intro to this one. So I'm just gonna click this. Now, what's wrong with this lady? You know
Why
what's
would you
wrong?
do that?
Larry, why?
Because he hates us. He hates us in our heart and in his heart. Deep in his soul, he has a deep and abiding hatred of pleasant things.
Let's hear from the lady herself.
I'm allergic to semen. Yes,
Wait, hold up.
you heard
Before
me
we go
right.
any further, pause it.
I'm allergic.
Good.
Okay, so for anybody out there listening, YouTube, I'm talking to you. This is not for kids. This podcast is not for kids. None of my podcasts are for kids. So if you're a child out there, turn it off. If you're a parent, do not let your child watch this stuff.
I can agree with this point. My entire channel is 18 plus. I really don't want to hear about people saying my channel is not for their children. I agree. It is not. Stop showing it to them.
I agree
Yeah.
too. In fact, I used to do a disclaimer before our other hosts complained about me doing disclaimers. So I think I'm going to go back to that, considering the news has been popping out. Um,
I got one more
at
question.
least I
One more
didn't.
question
At,
before we
at
go.
least I didn't post a story about this girl dating this guy through high school, all through high school, and then finding out that he was her brother. At least I didn't do
No,
that.
no, no. That's
So
fine. YouTube would go for
yeah,
that. But listen, I have one complaint here. How did this find out that semen gave her a reaction?
that's why I said
Well, she
let's
wasn't
find
sure the
out.
first time, so she had to try it again.
Wait a minute. Let's play the video first, and then we'll go through it.
I'm allergic to semen. Yes, you heard me right. I'm allergic to semen. It's not funny. It actually sucks. Because not only am I allergic to semen, I'm also
It
allergic to every
sucks.
condom.
No, you don't.
Wait, hold on.
Anyways,
Wait.
semen. I'm also
Dan, mute
not
yourself. You're
funny.
gonna
It
laugh,
actually.
dude.
It's not funny.
It is funny.
I'm allergic
It
to
is
semen.
funny.
It's not funny. It actually sucks. Because not only am I allergic to semen, I'm also allergic to every condom on this planet. So, anyways, I'm allergic to semen. And I tried to ask my allergist about this. And he was like, I think you're actually just allergic to the friction, not the semen itself. So, of course, I just did a little experiment and did the deed without the semen. And there was no burning at the end. Oh, because what happens when semen touches my lady parts? And here's the thing, I'm only allergic to semen on my lady bits. And when it touches my lady parts, they burn so badly. Like it hurts.
Okay,
It
I
hurts
got
so
a question.
bad. I can't handle it. I cry. I cry. Okay, it hurts so bad. So my allergist is like, oh, it's just the friction. It's just the friction. So I tried it. Nope. It is not the friction. It is most certainly the semen.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I got questions. I got loads of questions. In this case, when she's experimenting with this and she's like, it gets on my lady parts and that's how I know I'm allergic to it. Is she having sex with more than one person? Because if it's only one person, it could just be that his pH balance is out of whack.
Or it could be
That's what
something
I'm
he's
thinking.
eating. If
That's
he
what I'm
eats
thinking.
peanuts and she's allergic to peanuts, it is possible that a peanut allergy can be exacerbated.
Sure.
Yep.
And also, there's
No.
another point. When she says it's just her lady parts, I'm going to have to X doubt for that one, because if she took a shot to the mouth, she'd know just as quick.
Yeah, because of
True.
the exposed
Mucus
mucous
membrane.
membranes. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm kind of calling shenanigans on this one because either
Me too.
like unless she's experimented with a variety of men and
Which
it
I
all
think
comes
she
out the
did.
same. Well, I
I
mean,
think
if
she
if
did.
I'm being judgmental, Larry, just look at her. Of course she did. But
I disagree. I think she has a girlfriend, and this is all a big ploy for freaking views. Look at that. That does not have a boyfriend or a husband. It's not wearing a wedding ring, and it does not fit the profile of a wife. She's not wifey. It's not a wife. This is some woman's wife, and the man in question is possibly not quite so much as you might think, and may be involved in a whole bunch of hormonal stuff. pH way out of
Mhm.
balance.
Yeah, that her body's reacting to.
Yeah. Because like for instance, my pH balance is naturally a little bit more to the acidic side than not. And that doesn't just affect, the fluid she's talking about. It also affects my blood, my urine, my saliva, my tears,
It's
all my
okay.
bodily
It's
fluids have
okay,
a
bro. Your
higher
face fine.
but it's not so much that it burns women. It just, it's just one of those things. Like, obviously, you don't want to get it in your eyes, but
Am I the
You know.
only asshole that aims for the eye? Is that just me? I wanted to
It's
see me
gotta be.
coming.
Now, see, here's something else that doesn't make sense too. It says when she was 24 years old, she was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which affects the connective tissues, according to the Mayo Clinic. What?
Yeah, Kohai's saying that he's seen her. She's seen this person a lot, and this person apparently has. She might be a hypochondriac too.
Or TikToker.
She has POTS and
Yeah,
EDS.
same
What's
diff.
that?
POTS. I'm not sure what that is.
And who
EDS,
knows
I think, is
what
what the
else?
thing that you were talking about. Yeah. So I don't know. She, if she does TikToks regularly, though, she might actually believe that she has all this stuff, but it's most likely for abuse. It's most likely for,
Yeah,
clout
it just
content.
looks suspect to me because she didn't look upset about it. I
Yeah.
cried about it quite a bit, and to be honest, it makes me upset as I didn't even know that it was a thing that could happen because I'd never heard about it before. Well, if you've been having sex for the longest, I mean, she discovered her semen allergy after being tested for 160 allergens, with a few results coming back positive, such as nickel and penicillin.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it
Now
is. I got it. No, I know what happened. One of those tests that she did was a dude who was already dosing for an STD that he had.
Yeah, it had to be something
very well
wrong with
be.
the guy that she was hooking up with.
So this picture that's got all these things on her back here,
That's
I'm
from the
familiar with
test.
that as well. My ex-wife had to go and have that
Yeah.
done as well at one point because she's allergic to everything under the sun,
Yeah, I
and
think it's
most of them
painful
will kill
too.
her. And yeah, so they're just trying to figure out what it is that she is allergic to. So I mean, yeah, she probably has some severe allergies to some stuff. I just find this one kind of out there, you
Convenient.
know. Yeah, like she said, she was allergic to every
I'm
condom on
sorry.
earth. Well, I can buy a latex allergies are actually fairly common.
I have a latex
You know?
allergy.
Yeah, so like I buy that one. The semen thing, I'm not so sure unless she's like that rare unicorn of a medical mystery. You know.
Yeah, so
Well,
apparently there's a such thing as a semen allergy though. Seminal plasma hypersensitivity.
I
I
don't
think she
disagree.
looked it up. I think
I
she
don't
looked
like
it up,
that's
and
the thing. The chances of a woman that looks like that being the one that ends up with the semen allergy is remote at best. I don't buy it. It would be some random farm chick over here in southeast Kansas would have that, not Kool-Aid haired. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those. There's holes in this story because, like you said, Sasquatch, wouldn't it affect any part of her body, her mouth, anywhere else? And she said
Not
only her
really.
lady bit.
If it got in her eye, I'd swell that shut for sure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but if it got in her mouth, it would be
Isn't
just
that with
like
any woman though? I've heard of women taking shots in the eyes and getting pink eye from it.
sure. But what I'm getting at is in her case, since it passes a mucous membrane, it would be a more aggressive effect. Her
Mm,
lips would swell, her freaking eyelid would swell like crazy, you know, like an allergic
Yeah.
reaction.
gotcha. She desires to increase sexual intimacy with her partner, but the pain she endures turns the sensual moment into concern. It hurts.
I suspect that his pullout game is really weak.
That's him.
Or she just doesn't want kids. So that's what
Yeah,
she's saying.
there you go. There,
Yeah,
all
because
right,
it sounds like
all right.
he's trying to have kids and she doesn't.
Hmm. So now she's just like, no, we can't do this anymore.
I just now, like you said, I'm looking at this and I'm not buying that. Here we go. Starting a family. We've considered it. We just don't know yet. I've always wanted one, but then I'd be fine with to not have a baby. We keep going back and forth. Mm-mm. The more I read this, the less I believe her.
I mean, if
Jennifer
she,
hasn't wrapped her head around the process of what it would take for a seed to be successfully planted in her without adverse side effects. I don't know
Um,
how I can even have a baby. I don't know. In vitro, fool.
the
Don't
chances
yeah,
talk.
of this woman winning this particular lottery is remote.
Like what my body just look at her neck, dude. It looks like my goodness. That's probably a small.
Snow buddy.
Oh, and this lady, she's allergic to sex. Let's I didn't even plan on this one. It's
well,
only pain, no pleasure. Love
that's
hurts.
actually no that I've heard of that though. Where the nerve endings, it's they only register pain. They don't register
As a
pleasure. So I
doctor,
have actually heard of that happening.
Sam prefers that type.
That is a wild exaggeration. I don't actually like to hurt women.
Well, she's saying the
So
same thing though. Proteins in sperm cause her to experience extreme reactions, including redness and a burning succession. Oral sex is particularly hazardous if it touches her face. See, now she sounds like it's more the real deal. It sounds like the other girl's faking.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a reaction to all that metal in her face.
The other girl saw this girl's TikTok and ran with
Had
it.
to have. And she's like, "Hey, homeboy's trying to plant a seed in me. I need to do something about that."
Yeah, Cavitino. No, endometriosis is actually an internal issue with the uterus. So that actually wouldn't, unless there was baby making happening internally, it really shouldn't cause that.
Yeah, it sucks.
I
All
only know
right.
that because I was with a girl a couple years ago who had endometriosis. Learned a lot of shit about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Have you
did,
heard the
Sam.
updates on Tiffany Henyard?
Oh, did you see what happened when she went on Roland Martin's show? She went
Whoa!
on Roland Martin's show and started lying through her teeth. And Roland Martin, and he didn't push back, he didn't challenge her, and he's getting clowned all over the internet for that because it was like everybody knows that this chick is lying. There's videos everywhere showing that she's lying, right?
She sat there and said she had nothing to do with the charity when a week ago she was marching with the folks collecting for the charity.
Yep. And didn't say they, she said we. Because see, Sam, what she did was when Roland Martin asked her if it was her charity and how they got started, she said it was started by somebody else who likes the work that she does and she has nothing to do with it. But yet she took $10,000 from the city or from the town and donated it to the charity and had city workers participating in it and was in public meetings saying we when she talked about the charity. And he's just sitting there not pushing back, not saying anything. Then after she's gone, Roland Martin then decides to finally do his homework, realizes he's been had, and is now begging her to come back onto the show so that he can grill her, as if she's going to bother doing that.
Right, because she's a strong black woman in power.
Yeah,
And he's
they
one
should
of
be
those
ashamed
black
of
white
themselves.
supremacists, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Exactly. He's the
Oh,
black
they're
face
hooking
of
up behind
white
the scenes.
supremacy.
Yeah, they're definitely hooking up behind the scenes, man. And that's how that goes. Like, how much shit did AOC talk about white straight men before she started parading around her giant sandal-footed ginger boyfriend?
Yeah. All to get just for votes, man. Just for votes. These people, the more you look into it, is they always lying. Do you guys remember Sasquatch? You know who Billy McFarland is, right?
Pretty sure. And he
He's the
responsible.
guy behind the Fire Fest.
Oh yeah, that disaster.
Yeah. So he got out of prison last year. They let him out, right?
Yeah. And he immediately started trying to plan Firefest 2, didn't he?
Started trying to plan. He succeeded.
This is gonna be great.
He
Years ago,
succeeded.
wasn't it?
It was like 2017 or something like that. But here's the thing. Somebody pulled a Firefest. And I was gonna leave this article alone. I saw it earlier in the week and I was gonna leave it alone. I was like, whatever. But it turns out somebody used AI to advertise some big Willy Wonka event and invited family and kids there. When they got there, there was hold on, let me show you. Let me show you what let me show you what was waiting for them when they got there.
Wait. Are you talking about the Scottish Willy Wonka thing?
I don't know. I just
Because I heard about this earlier today.
I heard about this maybe a few days ago.
Yep.
No candy.
They cost them 50 pounds. Each kid got like half a glass of lemonade and a jelly bean. Like, kids were crying.
Yeah. Parents left fuming after Willy Wonka experience going haywire.
Yeah,
Apparently
this
the
was in
candy
Glasgow.
man can't. So
they had a party from Party City. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you remember when Firefest happened, when the people showed up, when they got their food was cheese sandwiches and like stale salad. And I think it had a tomato too. And they were sleeping in old FEMA tents that FEMA left over from some hurricane with wet mattresses because there was a storm a few hours before the people got there. So they called the police. The police were called to a Willy Wonka inspired experience in Scotland after patrons were left seething with rage at the $45 immersive experience had to deliver.
Somebody made out like a bandit, bro.
Yeah, it's
Instead
probably
of being met with a paradise of sweet treats, parents and children waited for nearly an hour to find themselves in a scarcely decorated warehouse.
Yeah, they if I remember right, like I said, I just heard about this morning. It kind of sounds like whoever was supposed to design this place and get it all up and running and all that stuff just kind of didn't. And so the people who were still there, part of the immersive experience or whatever, there's a handful of actors playing their parts, and they were trying like hell, but like it didn't work out.
Yeah.
These kids.
Well, I've got more on that too. Hold on, this isn't just a one article thing. No,
Bet
While
you.
children only receive 2 jelly babies and a quarter of a can of Bar's lemonade, leading furious parents to slam the shambolic event, which eventually was cut short.
Wait a second.
Of course it was. So let's see what it was. And underwhelming was an understatement. Embarrassing doesn't even cut it. I paid for Willy Wonka and got Billy Bonkers. House of Illuminati, the organizer of the event, issued an apology shortly after and assured that attendees would receive a full refund. Well, hell, at least it's not the Billy Farland experience. They got their money back. Them kids spent some of them kids spent like $200,000. Unfortunately, last minute we were let down in many areas of our.
Many areas were what?
That was just the opening part of it, right? So, second part of it. So they got an interview with one of the actors. Oh wait a minute. That's I don't want to show you guys that one
I
yet.
got
Hold on.
I got an example of a perfect scam if you want to hear it.
I want to hear it.
So you go and get something kind of cool, right? And you offer to auction to raffle it off. When you raffle it off, you charge everybody $2 a ticket. When you draw the raffle and you take the guy that bought the $2 ticket back there and you tell him, look, I don't got the thing. Here's your $2 back. Leave town.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Classic bait and switch, but perpetrated in a way that until he walks out of that tent and tells people he didn't get the prize, you just got his money back, nobody's going to say a word. You get a good 12 hours head start or so.
There you go, Sam. They should have known there was no champagne.
But I take it you
So,
don't read a whole lot of Heinlein. Go ahead, bud. I'm sorry.
Not for a
So
very long time.
actor hired for Fire Festival-esque Willy Wonka Experience Disaster says he felt scammed. It was an absolute mess.
Mm-hmm. Like I
Let's
say, I don't
see.
think the actors knew it was going to be this bad. Yeah.
Maybe. See, it's just like this guy. See, and this is where they started comparing it to really comparing it to Fire Festival. Because they brought up just as let's see if go through this commercial. Okay. So this is the guy. Oh,
Yeah, we can't hear him.
you can't hear anything?
Nothing at all. In fact, I don't know if you can compare this to Fire Festival, man. I'm pretty sure there were casualties in Fire Festival. Those folks got left on an island for like what 4 days with nothing. I mean, for the first 2 days, there was like some people claiming to be in charge, and then they left.
Oh yeah, they scattered because they weren't really in charge. They would have because I watched both specials. There's a special on Hulu, and then there's a different one from a different perspective
There's
on
a bunch of really good ones on
Netflix.
YouTube. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
really
and
good ones. They go deep.
can you hear that?
Negative.
Nope.
Wow.
Are you
Yeah.
running
Why?
both StreamYard and this news thing that you're doing in Google Chrome?
Yeah. Well, I'm not
Go-
running
go-
StreamYard.
Yes, you are. You're in StreamYard and you're running it in Google Chrome, aren't you? Go into
No,
your
I'm saying
settings term.
this is no, this is
Yeah,
Sam's
yeah,
channel.
but
So
you still gotta have it open and running in order to be in
All
the
right,
call.
okay. Sam, go into his the StreamYard settings and turn off the echo cancellation and we'll mute up. It should play through. It should turn off the background noise reduction and the echo cancellation. My bad.
let me know when you're done, Sam.
All right, try that.
See it. You hear it?
Nope, still nothing.
It's frozen, but I still don't hear it.
Well, I stopped it. Yeah,
You can hear that though, can't you?
I can hear it, but I'm the one
Yes.
playing it.
But yeah, right. We're gonna have
Maybe
to
it's just
talk
this
about your
one.
sound settings later.
Yeah,
It would be
but
that site.
well, let's just look at it this way. I'll just do it this way. Just as did in the wake of Fire Festival, he also felt hustled, scammed, bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. Now, I want to focus. This dude, Ja Rule, I never liked him anyway.
You read that wrong.
No, just like Ja Rule. Just like Ja Rule did
Not
in the
that,
wake.
not that. I'm talking about he was hoodwinked. He was led astray. He was
Oh,
run
yeah.
amok. He didn't land on
Yeah,
Fire Festival. Fire Festival landed on him.
yeah. But it's just with the whole thing with Ja Rule. Ja Rule absolutely knew what was going on, and he lied through his teeth. And there were people that worked under Billy McFarland that he tricked that had no idea. Like one guy, Billy took his credit card and did some stuff with it, and the guy ended up getting in trouble with the feds. And Ja Rule walked away scot free. And you watch the videos and stuff, and it's obvious that he knew something. He might not have known about everything that Billy was doing, but he knew something. At some point, he knew that something was wrong because him and Billy was, he was Billy's main partner. And even when they did a video and they were doing a conference call after the disaster, Ja Rule was on a conference call with them, and they even said they were like, "Hey, we tricked all these people." And he said, "No, what we did was not. It wasn't fraud. It was I would say it was false advertising." That you could hear
Yeah,
him clearly saying that. So it's
I
like
don't.
how this guy walked away. Not only did he walk away scot free, but he stole Billy's idea and formed his own company doing something else that Billy had actually came up with.
Yeah, I don't think this is the same situation though. I mean, these
It's
actors,
not.
these are local Glaswegian day players, man. They were probably hired for the day and not told much more than what their character was. So they probably
Yeah.
didn't know what this was going to turn out to be.
I
Like, can
tell you
you
what
imagine?
though.
Like, I heard. Let me finish. I heard earlier today people talking about it on. I want to say Friday Night Tights, or maybe it was like Critical Drinker Stream yesterday, but they were mentioning it then, and somebody had mentioned the possibility that, like, look, these guys probably they've got dreams of being big stage actors,
Actors.
doing good work across Broadway, off Broadway, and they find themselves in a warehouse making kids cry.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. I think that it's just like some of Billy McFarland's workers, where it's probably even worse for them because they probably just showed up. You know what I mean? Like even Billy's workers, they were trying. They were trying to talk some sense into him. But these guys probably showed up, saw what was going on, and was like, "What the hell?" But they were probably being paid. Me
Mhm.
personally, I'd have got there and saw that. I mean, me personally, I probably would have stayed too. If I had gotten paid, I would have stayed and I would have tried to do what I could. But I would have made sure
I do
people who
the
showed
job.
up, I'd have been like, "Hey,
You do
we're
the
not
job.
behind this."
Yeah, you
It's
do the
not your
job, and
job to make things not suck. It's your job to do the job. You do the
Yep.
job. You
yeah,
can't help
and
what
from what
else.
I hear, they did the best they could given the circumstances. They did go and they played the parts. It just, they were in an empty warehouse with a couple of rainbow pillars.
Yep. Guests who arrived to a dirty, near empty warehouse, described as
That
a health and safety nightmare with a printed AI background.
it was literally at they went to Party City and spent $45 on party stuff and went back and set it up.
And who
That's
set it up though? Because I'm sure it wasn't the actors that did it.
I
So I'm
bet it
guessing that
was.
well,
stuff was.
I
if you
bet it
ask
was.
me, it was probably the event organizer set it up and absconded with all the money that was paid in advance because they had to buy tickets to this shit.
Yes, it was a straight up scam. It was a
Yeah,
straight up scam. That's
Because
crazy.
yeah,
look at
And
it this way: if if a few people show up and it's just a couple of kids and they all get a handful of jelly beans or whatever, and everybody's satisfied that it was a hokey little thing and they had fun, and they go home, but that's all fine. But if more people show up, and they were evidently hoping for a lot more people, you see the space they were dealing with,
Mhm.
right? Somebody rented
Yeah.
this warehouse for the day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I mean, like, even then, just looking at this, man, is that worth 45 quid a head?
Well, they didn't
absolutely.
know. They didn't know until they got there that it looked like that.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, the people who organized this, who set this up, they knew.
I guarantee you they were charged before they walked in.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, what I'm saying is that the people who set all that stuff in there, they probably did it before the actors got there, and they're probably the ones that stole the money. And probably, of course, they were in on it. Whoever set that up was in on it. The
Eh,
actors probably were not. Were not. Well, then again, I can't say. Or maybe certain ones were because it's like you had to go there, you have to rehearse. I don't know. I don't know. They had to be fed some really good lies because you get in there. How do you know
I
where
could do it.
anything is? Um,
I could do it. I could totally make people do this and get away with the money and have them looking for someone else when it was done. I could totally pull this off. He just
Honestly, I
got
probably
sloppy,
could too. Yeah.
right? Yeah, just look at it from a different perspective. Look at it from a marks and punters concept, where you're just trying to get the money into someone else's hands before anybody gets mad enough to actually start hurting people. That's it. You're just leaving with the money.
Yeah, it says it's now. See, it says here they were given one single jelly bean each and a quarter of a glass of lemonade.
That was a
Mhm.
byproduct of the workers there realizing something had gone horribly wrong, but not wanting to be unfair, right?
It's probably what all they had on hand.
It's exactly all they had on hand. They realized, oh crap, these people are going to riot if we don't give them something. And so while they
I
were
would have.
running away with money, and the way you handle this is you hire a local organizer, right? You hire the local organizer, you have them do the thing. When the actors get hired in, you explain that they're going to have to do a little bit of setup for the show. And then when everybody shows up, you're out front collecting the freaking money while everybody's walking in. The actors are setting up, everybody's busy, they're getting their lines explained to them and everything. By the time people get in and realize this is shite, you've got the money, you're in the van down the freaking road somewhere. The local organizers standing around going, where'd the guys with the money go? And you're gone. They've got some dude named Steven Shell over there that was the ID that you used when you walked in.
Middle name Shell, last name Company. See
Right?
now this guy. Now here, right here. Now here's his reasoning behind him feeling like he got duped. They asked him to play Willy Wonka when he feels like he looks like an Oompa Loompa and not Willy Wonka.
Like
I
he
give
does kind
off
of look
major
like an
Oompa
Oompa Loompa.
Loompa energy, but not like a good Oompa Loompa, like one that is at the back during the dance numbers, like falling over like your aunt at a line dancing class on holiday.
Wow,
So
he does
because he
not have a
got
high
cast as
opinion
Willy
of himself.
Wonka, he knew something wasn't right, but he went anyway.
He ain't never seen my aunt at a line dancing class neither.
And what's the TV for?
They were going to play cartoons to keep everybody entertained while they ran away.
Yeah, they probably had that Timothée Chalamet movie or whatever.
You know what? The more I think about it, if I got there and I looked around and I saw that, I would have got my car and left because I would have been like, "Here's your money. Who do I give this money back to? Because this is going to be a
Oh, fuck
riot.
that.
People are
Oh,
going to
no,
be
sir.
pissed."
No, sir. Twice I have got away walking away with some scam money somebody paid me to try to get me to go and do something. And as soon as I smelt that rat, I just dipped out, never heard from them again.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have been there because these people are pissed. You are within arm's reach of them. Because they don't
Right?
know what's what. They thinking that you're part of it, or they thinking that you know who to get a hold to.
Well, I
You
just
know,
paid my money. Somebody in here gonna have it. But no, that money's
yeah.
already gone. This was a straight up bait and switch class.
He found out he was cast last Thursday, 2 days before opening, and mere hours before people started to arrive.
Mhm.
Right.
And he
Yeah,
was
All
given
of
a
that's
15.
how you do it.
He was
dollars to
given a
donuts.
15-page monologue of AI generated gibberish to memorize the experience. He should have known this was a trap.
Well,
One of my
No, no,
favorite
no.
lines
That
was,
it works like that
hold
with
on,
day
hold
players
on,
all the time.
hold on, Sam. One of my favorite lines was, "There's a man who lives here. His name is not known, so we call him Unknown. The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls."
that's nice.
Let's see. What is an evil chocolate maker for a start? Does he make evil chocolate, or is he an evil chocolate man who makes chocolate? And what do you mean he lives in the walls? He continued. I had to perform that line with gusto and validity, and that was a challenge as an actor.
Yeah, but he never had to perform it though, did he? Like, I guess he did perform it. He showed up. Hey,
What do you
man,
think,
I'm
Sam?
telling you, local organizer, and you walk away with every dime.
No, I think he did his job, and this is how it works when you have an event and you need actors, local actors, and local actors always need work. They're going to
Mhm.
show up even if you hire them an hour before the show.
Yep.
And he was counting on that.
Mm-hmm.
He was told to give kids one single jelly bean and a quarter glass of lemonade. Oh, that's rough.
Mm.
Pe- People were furious. They were shouting. There were people filming things on their phones. That's what I'm saying, man. I wouldn't want to be going viral. When he came out
Yeah.
from his lunch break, there was a nightmare. Get a little bit, got a little bit out of control. Of course, it did.
I have to get.
Oops.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Oops. My bad.
Connell claimed that the actors still have not got. They didn't even get paid. They didn't get paid, and they
No.
suspect early on that they wouldn't, but they decided to keep doing their best for the sake of the kids. I would have
Right.
left if I hadn't been paid. I got there and I saw that, but like, nope, that's no. I'd be
Oh,
like
see,
that.
that's
That's
what I'm saying. I mean, like, I've gotten away with a few folks because I refused to show up without getting some pay to start with because no, you smell fishy. And then when I
Mhm.
get there and I realize this is totally a scam, I just leave with the money, man.
Eventually,
Yeah.
Connell was allegedly told to hide. Police were forced to break up angry crowds of visitors who were expressing their frustration towards the House of Illuminati, which canceled the event within hours of opening. So the event was already canceled, and they didn't tell you. Like you said, classic scam.
Yep.
I mean, if you were trying to bilk people out of a bunch of fucking money, would you tell them that you canceled the event?
Of course
I
not.
would about 2 hours before I would put it up on my website that no longer functions. I'm
And
telling you, man, I made out like a
here's the other
band.
question too. Here's the other question too. How did they get in?
Well, the warehouse is probably already paid for. It doesn't cost much to rent the warehouse.
But
Not
I
for a
mean, how did
day
they
or a
get a
few
key?
hours.
I guess whoever's doing the event, I guess, handed somebody a key because
Well, they probably
evidently
opened it up and then left.
everybody who showed up probably wasn't in on it.
Yeah, no, they probably showed up, opened it up, and then left. And they just
Gotcha.
didn't bother to lock it back up again.
Or maybe the owner of the building was there and just opened it because they're not gonna care. They got paid.
Yeah.
We didn't take any
So-
abuse, but we gave abuse to the people running it. The whole thing was disrespectful to the families and us as promising actors.
See,
Organizers were reportedly forced to issue more than 800 refunds to us. Okay, so they had to get the money back.
but did the people who got the money have to give the money back, or did the owner of the
I doubt it.
building? Because here's the way you run this scam. You hire a local organizer to hire the day actors and the workers to set up the stuff. You get the stuff super cheap from a Goodwill or something like that. You get them all busy prepping up while you're taking the money from the folks at the door and ushering them in. And by the time anybody realizes anything's going on, the person that was actually taking the money just walks the freak away or does a handoff and pretends to be stupid until they can walk out the door, because there's going to be a lot of chaos here in the next 20 minutes, and that's your opportunity to escape.
Yeah.
especially if
Yeah,
nobody knows what you
I
look
think you're
like. I
right.
mean, all you got to do is get away in the confusion. Like the guys who set this stuff up usually don't have their faces on the front lines in the first place.
Exactly. Local organizer. Also, a lot of these scams like this operate kind of like a joke. There's a bit of subversion, there's a bit of misdirection, and then there's a payoff. And they all function the same way, although the methodology can be very, very different amongst scams.
Well, Billy heard and felt their pain. He wants to give them a second chance with Fire Festival too. Don't do it. And if I remember correctly, as a part of his restitution, I could have sworn he was barred from ever doing what he's doing ever again. They can't even
I
be the
thought,
CEO of a company.
I thought he was barred from organizing events too, or maybe it was just in that state.
No, it's federal.
Oh,
The charges were federal.
Yeah, but if he does it outside of U.S. jurisdiction, he can do it.
Didn't he do it out of U.S. jurisdiction the last time? They were on
That's
Pablo
iffy.
Escobar's island. They weren't in America.
Yeah, I'm
No,
pretty sure
I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure the CIA owns that island.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They got booted. No, they
That's
got
a
booted off that. Hold on, they got booted off that island because they weren't supposed to tell people it was Pablo Escobar's island, and they did. So they had to go to a nearby island that was in the Bahamas. But they weren't in. They weren't in an American. They weren't in America's territory. But the things that he did in America, which got him nailed. So it wasn't just the festival itself; it was the money that he stole from people to get it. He tricked to get it. So it was just a number of charges.
No.
They were able to get him on enough stuff.
I get all that,
My,
Larry. I'm just saying that if he went over to, say, Scotland and didn't use any resources, didn't promote any of this shit in the U.S., he could absolutely do it again.
I think that's what he's pulling. Because according to this,
I don't think y'all use the word allegedly often enough.
Oh, I don't use it at all.
Hashtag just say
Oh.
it though. Allegedly.
Yeah, it's some more
Hashtag suck my
photos of
balls,
the.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's some more photos of the Willy Wonka head event.
You wanna field this one, Larry?
What did this guy do? Oh boy. So Billy
Cliff notes.
McFarlane
Cliff
started.
notes.
Don't interrupt me.
It's gonna be a 3 hours more. If
That's
talk
you
about
doing it.
everything the guy did.
Popcorn and my drink.
That's
I'm
you.
Dude, let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's you if you start talking, Mr. Clear Eyes commercial. Anyway, so the guy, he did a bunch of false stuff. He was basically tricking people out of their money, stealing it. And he started a festival that he thought he was going to be able to pull off, and he was way over his head, and it was a disaster. Let me see what the let me see what they got charges. See what they got him with. They got him with wire fraud. Yep.
Is that it? Is that it?
I know it was more than that. It was the amount because it was like millions, I think. Uh, he was also like selling tickets to the Met Gala, which you don't, you can't just buy tickets. You get invited to that. So he was, and this was after he got busted. Like he was still, he was still pending charges, and then got out on bail and went right back to what he was doing. But there's a number of charges that he got busted with. Uh, I would have to look into it. Maybe we'll do a thing on it. Maybe we'll do a show on it. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to find out where, because see, that's Fire Festival. That's what Billy McFarlane's victims got. There's the tomato.
It's more than a jelly bean.
Yeah, that's the tents that they were sleeping in. That was the premium accommodations.
Hold on.
Yeah, he pled guilty to wire fraud and got 6 years in prison. Ultimately served for defrauding investors and committing wire fraud because he lied
$1.5
to his
million
investors.
of investor funding,
Yep,
along with rapper Ja Rule.
Ja rules
100
nothing.
million in class action lawsuit on behalf of Fire Festival attendees, and served 6 years in federal prison and was released in 22. Less than 4 years.
Yeah,
Time off for
and
good
from what I
behavior.
remember reading, even while he was in prison, he got busted for trying to organize a company again. Like the guy can't help himself. So it's like he got arrested, got
You
back to
roboted there.
scamming, got caught again. Hmm?
You said you roboted.
Sorry. But just a long story short, the man can't help himself. He can't help himself at all. Alrighty. So let's do this. Do you guys want to go through paranormal activities? Because we're almost at 2 hours. Or do you
I'm
want to do
down. As long
99
as I got
facts?
my Beretta, I'm down for whatever, baby. We're doing it. You rocking it out. Give me something to scream at.
All right, let's do 99 facts then.
I'll animate girl if you want me to. Aye.
How you guys want to do this? Do you want no screen and you guys throw out random numbers, one between 99, and I'll find the fact and read it, or do you want to go down the line one to however far you guys want to go? Because I know we're not going to hit all 99.
Random facts about anything.
No, they're creepy facts. That
Okay.
in some
All right.
lady says
Can
99 really
you
creepy
give them
facts.
to me in the form of a question?
They're not in the form of a question.
I
They're
know,
creepy
but
facts.
you can't.
Now I'm saying, do you want to go through these
Go,
from
go ahead,
one
bro.
all the way to what?
Start at the beginning. We'll work our way through it. Let's do this
Sam, what do
thing.
you think?
No, that's good.
Okay. I know we're not gonna hit 99. I already know that.
You read fast, maybe.
All right.
Sorry.
Refrigerators are magnetic because kids used to pass away inside them. Before
Yep.
1956, refrigerators could only be opened from the outside.
That's why
Yep.
even to this day, parents tell their kids, do not hide in refrigerators.
Or
Yep.
freezers.
Yeah. Because you'd find these old discarded ones out in junkyards and shit, and kids would be playing hide and seek or whatever, and one of them would crawl in there and it'd seal up like an airtight coffin.
Yep.
Yep.
Number 2, people who are slowly going blind might suffer from Charles Bonnet syndrome, where they hallucinate patterns or, in some cases, people. It can last for years, and there's no cure, nor is there a medication that specifically gets rid of the visions. The main treatment seems to be just understanding that they aren't real and aren't the result of a mental health problem. So, what if
Okay.
you swing at something you think doesn't exist and you actually connect with a live person?
I think I may have married a non-existent entity.
So
Sam?
this patterns thing, is this like having kaleidoscopes in your eyes?
I
How does
don't
that
know.
work?
I
I,
guess you're seeing ghosts.
the
I imagine
only
at a certain point you can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not.
right. I imagine you're just imagining what you think you're seeing or misfiring neurons or something. But the only thing I can equate this with is when I was about 19, I had some type of a cerebral event, a stroke or some shit, and I ended up with a blind spot in my left eye, and a spot for months and months. There was just this zone where things would disappear. It was the weirdest thing ever, and I thought I would see colors and stuff over there. It was really weird.
Okay, well, that
Yeah.
explains that. Studies suggest your brain doesn't necessarily stop its activity the moment you are clinically dead. You might literally hear yourself declared dead. Up to 30 minutes of brain activity was recorded in one patient.
There is some, yeah. I'd heard, going back to even to the Middle Ages when, or more recently than that, the French Revolution, there was a lot of talk about, although nobody who actually went through this could report on it, but there was talk about how, if they hit it just right with the guillotine, you could actually see your severed neck as your head fell into the basket.
That's evil.
Yeah, well, it's the
But
French.
what I'm getting at, though, is that the neurons don't necessarily stop firing immediately in the brain.
Yeah, I believe that. It takes a minute for it to catch, for the brain to catch up with the fact that you just died. All right, let's see who's the third one. Ohio is not the place to be.
Oh no, it's
So I
not.
thought there-
Yeah. In fact, it has been hypothesized that there may be a few seconds of awareness after someone is decapitated, as studied in rats.
Yep.
So they were guillotining rats.
No. Yes and no. They were doing all kinds of experiments to rats. They were guillotining people.
But it doesn't mean
Joe,
they weren't guillotining rats for scientific study.
Hey, get
I
a hold
guarantee
still.
you they were guillotining rats, dogs, cats, and many other animals, because that's what they do, bro.
Yep.
Tiffany's Epiphany. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, this isn't my normal shtick. I'm playing third fiddle over here. I'm doing my best.
Sorry, Tiffany. There is even a witness who said that Anne Boleyn tried to speak after she was beheaded. She was probably cursing Henry. Damn you, Henry.
Oh, it's possible.
Asking for help, perhaps. I don't know. Just a guess.
Someone find my body.
Would you pick up my head and hand it to me, please?
I simply lost my head.
The last execution by guillotine was in 1977. That's soon, huh? That was earlier than that.
Well, it's still it's not used a lot because it tends to be really messy. But in terms of quickly putting somebody down, it tends to be a little less drawn out than, say, lethal injection.
Or
So yeah,
hanging.
they were still using it. Yeah, hanging can take hours.
One of the reasons why we don't do hanging nowadays is because there are no professional hangmen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I did a when I went on a ghost tour back in December, and I actually talked about it here on this channel, Sasquatch, and I found out the last hanging that was done in Texas, the guy's head came completely off, and his body and his head sprayed blood all over the witnesses that were directly beneath his body. So it dropped from the second floor down to the first floor, and his head, his spine, the whole thing just completely came out and just sprayed blood all over everybody. And they never used it.
Long knot.
Yeah. So let's see. Speaking of execution methods, one method the ancient Romans used involved beating people and then sewing them into a bag with a live dog, snake, monkey, and chicken and throwing them into the ocean. What?
Yeah, damn.
I mean, they ain't coming back from that, I guess.
That'll do it.
Should have done that shit to Rasputin.
Right? That would have just cut that whole.
Well, he just wouldn't die, though. Rasputin wouldn't die, though. They stabbed, setting on fire. That guy was not
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You can't. They did it one method at a time, though, except for the castration thing. They should have just done it all at once.
Right? They should have just done it. They stuck him in a bag with a chicken, a snake, a monkey, and a dog.
Chicken, though. And what did the dog, the snake, and what the animals do?
I'm curious. I'm curious as to exactly where did the ancient Romans have this supply of monkeys?
I'm more curious about who was catching these snakes.
Well, I'm scared to say this, because if they were following the thought processes of slave owners or even people, going through deconstruction, the monkeys were synonymous with black people. So I'm like, well, did an African get sold next to it?
Wow.
No. that'd have to be a big damn bag. It's already got to be a pretty big bag, but to throw another
Yeah,
person in there,
yeah, and it couldn't have been plastic. I'd been like burlap or something.
Well, maybe a
it
kid.
wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been the ancient Romans doing that shit though, because unlike today's society, who thinks everything was based on race, Romans didn't really give a shit what color your skin was, so long as you made it, decent contribution to the empire.
I guess.
No, they
Which
didn't. They
begs
were
the difference.
famously
So
not
I guess
concerned
the
with skin
dog,
color.
the snake, the monkey, and the chicken weren't pulling their weight for the Roman Empire.
No, they were pulling the weight of this dude straight to the bottom of the sea.
They couldn't use rocks. You gotta kill a dog.
Well, yeah, but
damn.
rocks aren't going to kick your ass the whole way down, too.
Look, I'm still curious about whether or not this snake was supposed to be poisonous. I mean, it's not a very dangerous snake if it's not, is it?
I think it's
would think
probably
not.
it doesn't have to be. It'd just be in there to agitate the chicken. It could be like an oviraptor. Chickens know about oviraptors, so they don't
Well,
want to.
well,
Then
and
it's
here's
going
the
to
thing,
freak out and
too.
start pecking you and shit. And the monkey's going to freak
no,
out and start throwing
here's the
shit.
thing, though. I'm guessing that they threw the snake in there to bite the guy, but if the snake sees the chicken, it's gonna go for the chicken.
Not if it's an
I don't-
oviraptor. It won't. It's
I don't-
wanting eggs, but just its mere presence would be there enough to freak the chicken out, and the chicken will start pecking everything.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be freaked out when you stuff it inside of a dead cow carcass. I mean, like, how much more stressed out do you want the chicken to be that you're going to chase down a poisonous snake and stuff it in there with you? Grab that snake, put it in there too. We're not going to let anything go wrong.
Next one. The Romans were notorious for gruesome execution methods. You think perhaps the worst alleged method was called scaphism, in
That
which
wasn't
a person
Romans.
was.
That wasn't Romans.
Hold on,
That
man.
was
Let
the
me finish.
Persians. Well before
Let me
them.
finish. In which a person was force fed and covered in milk and honey, put in a swamp, and slowly eaten alive by maggots and worms. Oh,
Yeah, I researched this in ninth grade when I did a thesis on capital and corporal punishment. And this was not the Romans. And in fact, there's no solid evidence that this was ever used. It was mentioned in a couple of Persian texts well before the Romans came along.
Sasquatch! Remember what I said at the beginning of the show about him knowing everything?
You can say that, but if he hadn't have said it, I would have.
Yeah. And
He
it's
just had to
it's
get it
not
out.
always. Yeah, and it wasn't always in a swamp. Sometimes they'd leave you in the desert where the milk and honey would, of course, encourage insects both
Ants.
inside and out to eat you alive.
Yeah.
But you would also be
Okay,
baking alive in the
Encyclopedia
sun.
Brown, we get it. We get it.
Let me finish the fucking sentence for once.
No, I'm trying to get through this. I'm just kidding.
That's the problem.
Go
He
ahead.
has
Your
8
feelings will be
minutes to
heard.
finish his explanation. You have
Yeah,
8
let's go
minutes
ahead
to
and
finish
finish. Let's
99
go.
facts. One of you can accomplish this. Go.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
See, now his feelings are hurt.
No, the dark ones don't have feelings. Don't be silly.
Yes,
I
we
got
do.
out what I needed to say about it. I just say it wasn't the fucking Persians, or it wasn't the Romans.
it was the Persians, not the Romans.
Yeah.
He's like, what after the Romans? It was the Persians.
It was an
also-
incorrect fact.
Y'all are
yes,
just
Kevin,
like an
in
old
the ninth
married
grade.
couple. This is amazing. I love this. Can we go to dinner later together? Like, this would be
Oh
awesome.
my goodness. Check this out. The Romans used to torture people by having ghosts lick their feet. Ghosts like salt, so they would soak their feet in salt water. Eventually, the ghost's tongue was rough enough that the skin would wear away. Ouch. Then you'd have a wound with salt trickling in. Oh.
I got one for you on that one. When a big cat hunts you down in the wild, one of the first things they do is tear off your shoes and then bite your feet, because your feet will bleed freely for a long period of time, and they will lay on you and lick your feet until you bleed to death.
Yep.
And then they get to work on the rest of you.
If unless they can find something else tasty.
Most big cats, like tigers, will actually, after that, will hide you away, stuff you somewhere, and sort of let you tenderize over a period of time before they come back for the rest. They might eat the butt cheeks first, and then come back later.
So if you are a part of my community, we got a lot to worry about because they want our butt cheeks. They go Jeffrey Dahmer on us. Anyway, Another ancient Rome fact. During the late Roman Republic, one of the richest men in Rome, Marcus Licinius Crassus, like am I saying the middle name right, Sam? Because he's the guy that got Spartacus, right?
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Licinius or is it Licinius?
It'd be it's probably a hard K sound.
Like Licinius. Used to own a team of firefighters. There was no designated firefighter service at the time. If your building was burning, he would offer to buy the building. If you agreed, he put out the fire. If not, his team of firefighters just left and let the building burn. I mean, it's a good deal, but they probably
I
set the
read
fire to begin with.
I read somewhere that when they would leave a ceramic plaque in front of the blaze so that it would advertise to other people that if you don't sell when the chance comes, you don't get anything.
Yeah. Like I said, they probably were the ones that started the fire. Let's see. We've only explored about 5% of the ocean. Now I would have thought it would have been like 12% by now.
No, not even close.
Actually, every time we explore it, we find more areas of it that we didn't know were there before, really, that are different. And so the number gets smaller.
We don't have an accurate map of the ocean.
That's scary.
You know, and
And
it
people
isn't
like
just
jumping in
because the cartographers do their thing, but they, you know, the floor of the ocean does change, you know, due to tectonic movements, due to you know, volcanic eruptions and that kind of thing. So not everything that we've mapped is the same as it was when it was mapped. Hi, Boa.
Yeah, that's a long time no see.
He shows up over in mine occasionally. Kind of hit and miss.
So
All right, let's see. If you get bitten by a human, you absolutely have to go to the hospital right away because the amount of deadly bacteria in any given person's mouth could actually kill you if it enters your bloodstream. So, like a monitor. Oh no, not a monitor. What is
like
it?
a Komodo dragon.
Mono dragon.
Yeah, those are actually monitor lizards, by the way. They're just really big ones.
Yeah, you were correct.
Both times.
And yes, a human bite is far, far more deadly than almost any animal bite in nature, short of a venomous creature. And it is specifically because the bacteria in our mouth is designed to live inside humans, but not inside your skin.
Yeah.
You hear that? Don't tell a woman to bite you. I like it rough. Yeah, not that rough. You can substitute 65 grams of blood for an egg if you're baking something. The study that found this used pig's blood, but it stands to reason any blood would work. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've never tried it, but I believe it.
Sam, you probably know that a ton of people have died trying to climb Mount Everest. But what you don't likely know is that many of their bodies and belongings are used as trail markers.
I did know that actually. And the reason for that is because
Green
it's too
boots.
dangerous to go up and get them.
Yep. Green boots. Green boots was used for a trail marker for years because it was someone that had died near a particular camp zone.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I guess that they didn't die in vain. I mean, the more people that died up there, the more people lived. One climber, David Sharp, actually began to freeze to death so close to where another frozen body landmark was that 40 people passed by him without helping him. By the time someone realized the body was actually the still alive Sharp, it was too late. Wow.
That sucks.
Similarly, a 26-year-old man named John Edward Jones got stuck in Utah's Nutty Putty Cave in 2009. His body could not be removed, and he eventually died. His body is still there. How come they couldn't get it out?
Because he's stuck
Uh,
down in like a funnel shaped depression. They can't get in there and pull him out. He would come apart.
You know, with a name like Nutty Putty, you'd think it'd be all fun.
No, it's not. I did a show on this particular case, and they
Really?
they spent a lot of effort attempting to get him out alive, and finally left him there.
Like, was he like stuck by the waist? They couldn't use
He-
like.
all right, so He went down a chute that's typically closed off, and because it is a almost vertical descent, he went down head first and got stuck about halfway down. And when he tried to back out, he got turned and wedged sideways. They were able to get down to him, but could not dislodge him from the angle he had settled into. And in the process of trying to remove him, they injured him in several ways, and eventually he died. And yet again, without being able to pull out pieces of him, they couldn't remove him. It was decided just to close this cave up, leave him there.
But he was already dead once they decided that, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now my question is, they couldn't use like petroleum jelly, something
No,
slippery.
dude. No, well, that once you see, the thing is that cave goes down quite deep, and by the time people get down to where he was stuck, you're already at the very end of a rescue's attempt. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Wow.
He wasn't near the surface. It wasn't like he was stuck in a hole over here, like in a whale or something. You have to carry all the equipment down, all of the food, all of the light, all of the air, everything you're going to need to go and make an attempt at a rescue. You have to carry all of that in, probably in legs, because of how tight the the putty cave is. It's a hell on earth, dude. It sounds fun. It is not. It's a low grade cave for the most part, but when you start looking into unexplored parts of it, it gets extremely dangerous, extremely quick.
Wow.
And at this point, I imagine he's been down there long enough that like the way caves form stuff, they get the condensation, and it just kind of he's probably had some mineral crystallization sort of seal him in at this point.
Yeah, like I said, they just decided to kind of leave it as a warning not to explore unexplored places. Basically, there's a plaque and stuff in there. Probably need to revisit that case. Come to think of it, it's been about 2 years.
Yeah, let me know. I'd like to be a part of that, man. That's crazy. That's so sad, man.
There's a channel called Deified that covers all sorts of like caving, diving, and mountain climbing, rock climbing mishaps. And they do really good work. Deified.
Okay. Let's see. Next, the sun will die in 5 billion years, and since it will get brighter with time, in about 8 billion years, it will be hot enough to vaporize the water on our planet and make it uninhabitable. Okay.
All right, guess.
Although between climate change, biodiversity decline, and human overpopulation, people could kill the planet long before that. How did I know they were going to sneak something woke into this?
Yeah, no, that's horseshit. The planet will
It's
survive
required.
us.
It's required. They're going to slough us off like a mere surface nuisance.
I might need to steal that picture.
And our universe could be wiped out at any time by a wandering black hole, nearby supernova, vacuum decay, or any number of other things in the galaxy. Let me guess, all because of climate change, right?
Well, the
Oh, sure.
supernova, that's one of those. There's a couple of things like that you could literally get lucky and be standing on the right place on Earth and not die. And you and about, 500,000 other people will be standing around going, where'd all the oxygen go?
I mean, not for long.
Not for long. Yeah, you would survive the initial irradiated blast, is what I'm saying. Like that initial gamma ray burst that would strike you would kill 99% of the people on the planet, except for a very narrow wedge of shadow on the obverse side. And those people would have a chance to survive for about 4 minutes until they were ripped apart by the wind, being snatched literally off the surface of the earth. It's actually a fairly horrible way to go. Sorry.
I'm going to skip the fungus part.
Yeah, we was talking about that on Engage earlier this week. That last episode that I did,
Cordyceps.
got into it about cordyceps. Yeah.
There are 30 elevator and escalator caused deaths in the U.S. yearly. And 17,000 injuries. I believe that.
Damn right. The escalators are dangerous. Elevators are generally way over engineered. Escalators.
And kid, is back on the
On
goddamn
the
escalator.
That's exactly the reference I was fixing to do. Fuck you.
Let's see. You may be traveling with more than just the living on your next cruise. Turns out a good number of old people die on cruises and accidents happen, meaning that all cruise ships have a morgue on board. And I just read about that too, that they throw
That's
ice
just being
cream
petty.
parties to make room for anybody for dead bodies if they need to.
True. Also, it is currently cheaper for old people to retire to a permanent life of cruising than it is to live in a retirement home with hospice, because the cruise line is insured and offers a basic insurance package that covers basic crap in whatever port they go to. So it's cheaper ultimately to live on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't
Also,
surprise me
guess
either,
what?
that
They also have jails. I mean, of course, we know that. During the Black Death, people sometimes reported hearing strange gurgling noises coming from inside their lesions. Oh,
they were talking to him. That's making a comeback.
yeah, it is. And the bubonic plague, as the Black Death is also known, is still around. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Sam,
they
did you
didn't have
know?
penicillin then, though. So
Sam, did you know that there's a pretty high likelihood that a brutal murderer gets away with their crime? That's right, folks. Almost 40% of U.S. murders go unsolved.
Yep.
And the leading cause of death for pregnant women in the United States is murder. In fact, they're twice as likely to die from murder than from complications arising from their pregnancy.
That's got to be because of all the men. It's all the white men. That's the problem.
Approximately 2,100 children are reported missing in every. I don't want to read that one. I mean, it's
I can
important,
explain a little bit of that.
but
That's true.
A lot of
It
those
just-
children go missing in national parks, and a large, almost disturbingly large portion of those children are mentally ill or handicapped in some way, and it's believed that the parents are literally Hansel and Greteling these kids.
probably. And I'll tell you what, where I'm at right now, we have my bro and I. We just realized we have had an Amber Alert every day for the past 7 days. Every day. And there's kids missing all through this part of Texas already. All of them 17 and under.
You got a cereal,
Most of them, yeah.
like
It's
Captain
crazy.
Crunch.
And most of them between the ages of 14 and 17.
Well, who was the serial killer that was picked up in Atlanta? Like he got picked up by a random freaking cop running a like a license check or something.
Not the Green River
Really?
Killer, right?
No,
I don't
he painted a bunch of his victims. He couldn't remember their names, so he
Oh.
made paintings of them in prison, and a lot of his victims have been identified through the paintings that he painted. I did a show on this guy too, but I can't remember his name. It's Raymond something. Pretty sure.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll go up to 30
Yeah,
and we'll stop.
I do know that
and what-
like I live within half a day's drive of Sturgis, South Dakota, where the biker rally is every year, and every year tons of girls and young women go missing and are never heard from again. During Sturgis Bike Week, there is a huge human trafficking ring that pops up over there and just takes kids, takes girls, takes young women, and no one ever sees or hears from them again.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop there because the more I'm reading, I'm like, this is getting
Good.
even for 18 over. This is it's getting age restricted. It's getting too much.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, Arlington, Texas. Yeah, but
Good job, little buddy.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I wish I had read through this entire list before picking it because
Yeah,
There's some dark shit on there.
There's some dark shit on there. It is supposed to
man.
creep you out there. All right, real quick before you try to kick everybody out and run home or whatever it is you do in your dark hood, what is your favorite creepy fact that you're personally aware of that creeps you out?
Uh,
I don't know. I'm not sure I have an answer to that. Not right yet.
All right, I'll go first. Y'all think for a second. So, a lot of small towns all over the US, especially in the Southeast, have areas that used to be or were ghettos or shanty towns or whatever. And these places have wells. I know of a small town that has a population of 600 that has 20,000 wells unmarked in the countryside around it, because back in the 20s, it was a big boom town because there was a railroad depot there. And in the 20s, there was a flood that just completely demolished the bridge, everything, the depot, all of it got just washed away, and they never rebuilt it. And so the town never really recovered. It's pretty much died since then. But right now, if you walk out there and wander around back in those hills, you can just disappear and become a missing 411 in a blink of an eye.
Hmm.
I would have to say,
sound-
for me, and I've never been there. I've only heard about it. It's that those woods, the forests in Japan where people go to commit suicide.
Yeah.
The Suicide Forest, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
one that
that's
got what's his name? There was a YouTuber went over there and made fun of it and got into a
One of the
fuckload of
Pauls,
trouble. Yep.
Logan's, or whatever.
what happened to him.
What creeps me out about that is what people do when they go in there to do this is they'll tie a ribbon or a string around something near a trail and then wander as deep as they can get away from the where they tied it, so that their body will eventually be found. And that is just disturbing, the amount of planning that takes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In regards to your question, Larry, he was nearly kicked off YouTube, lost a bunch of revenue. I believe they were, banned from Japan, among other things, because you don't do that. It's one thing to go visit the place. It's a whole nother to live stream it and make fun of it while you're there worldwide.
I agree. The other day I was watching two schizophrenics argue in a Waffle House at 3 a.m. and somebody asked me why I wasn't filming it. I said, neither of those people are in control of their actions, and it would be wrong to exploit them. But it would be 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same premise with, victims of life.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a good answer for your question, Sasquatch. The more I think about it, probably I would settle on something a little more esoteric, like the fact that science indicates, although we don't know for sure, that all fungus everywhere is connected.
Right? That's creepy as hell. That
The
bothers me.
mycelial network is a
Mycelium-
very real thing, and we don't know for a fact that it's not intelligent.
That's what I'm saying. Mycelium has a very similar interactivity as brain cells when it comes to the design and physical interchange. It would just be a very slow form of thought.
Yeah, and if it's all connected everywhere here, it's all connected everywhere. So there's
What about
probably
across
spores out in
oceans?
space and shit, and yeah.
There's almost certainly spores in space, but what I'm asking about is like, are the mycelium in South America attached to the mycelium in North America? Are we getting into some hollow earth type stuff? Because I'm totally down.
I think it might be more of a like a shortwave radio connection. So probably the spores in South America are connected to other spores and so on further and further north, and then that way information gets transmitted from like Alaska all the way down to Peru.
All right, I'll buy that. You win this round.
Yeah, but I don't like the fact that that the mushrooms on my pizza might be thinking at me.
I don't have so much of a problem at that because I'm pretty sure the pepperoni had a few thoughts about it before it became pepperoni.
Yeah, but we know that's dead. I'm not so sure about the mushrooms.
What concerns me most is having like an egg with my chicken, because I don't feel like 2 generations of an animal should be involved in my breakfast.
Did you hear that joke about the lady? Lady goes with her son into a restaurant, and the waitress asks the son, he's like 4 or 5 years old, "What would you like, sweetie?" He's like, "I would like to consume the souls of the unborn." And his mother goes, "Eggs." He wants eggs.
That's just one omen for you. That's not a good sign, honey. That's almost as bad as walking around talking to their finger about red rum.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, folks, Sam, I know you've got another show coming up. Mr. Sasquatch, would you like to
Yeah, man.
plug your show or any updates or?
Yeah, no, I've been doing a kind of a chilling with Sasquatch experiment. It was the only show format I didn't have actually planned out to be a thing, and I've added it to the shorts feed live streams, and I have quadrupled my viewers. I don't know what the view time does yet. I'm still looking at data. I really need about another 12 hours to look at to know something. But I'm not really doing anything else on the channel until I get this data that I'm after on the shorts feed live streams. So I'm only doing guest spots until then, I
Fair
guess.
enough.
As for me, you guys can catch me tomorrow / later today, depending on your time zone. Probably on Best Talking on their Skin and Match program. And you can catch me in the chat as a moderator on the world famous Exile Lioness 2 channel as well. I'm also putting on content on my channel, Knights Lore. I have 2 short stories and a trailer up there. I will be releasing another short story on Sunday, and I will be releasing another one on Tuesday. And
Nice.
that should be.
Yeah. As for myself, I'll be back later today with Screaming Into the Void. Here in about an hour, I'll be over on Beelzebub Hub for Beelzebub Pub. And then probably on Adam the Renaissance Nerds channel for Mellow Mondays on Monday and Dermy Wormies for Tuesday Mayhem on Tuesday. Other than that, you can definitely find me over on Exiled Lioness 2 alongside Larry. And there might be some other things here and there. I'm going to try and get some game streams up next week. I know I keep saying that and it keeps not happening. I'll figure something out in that regard. And yeah, that's about it. I as announced last week, I'm no longer on Star Trek Engage for at least the foreseeable future. So although they're taking a break this week anyhow. So and I believe next week in between seasons. And all that's about all I got. So I want to thank Caucasian Sasquatch for joining us tonight. Appreciate it, dude. Always a pleasure.
Same here.
And to everyone over on Squatch's channel, have a great night as well. Everybody who came by to watch on all the platforms, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for coming. And we will see you all next time. Remember, YouTube, that it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Night, everybody.
What is it you pray